Hello and welcome to the Beginnerlift program. My name is Rachel and I'm going to be your coach for the program. I'm really excited to have you on board and thank you for choosing me to enjoy the journey of weightlifting, and I hope I can teach you everything you need to know to really start and lay a foundation for you for weight training. So what I want to do today is, being your day one, it's actually not your workout. Today what I want to do is I want to give you a really good start and understanding about what weight training is, how it works, explain the muscle groups, help you with nutrition, and give you a few tools that will help you be very successful in the program. And then I'm always here to help you out as your coach and make sure that you've joined our private Facebook group so that you can connect with the community as this program grows. So just let's begin as just kind of understanding the background of weightlifting and about this program. So what I want you to do is just actually take a second and pause. You can pause me. And I want you to, if you have a piece of paper or a journal, I want you to ask yourself, why did you decide to join the Beginner Lift program in the first place? So what was it that drew you to the program, and what is it that you're really hoping to get out of this program, so that you start to figure out your why piece? Because as you start any program and as you move forward through a program, understanding why you're doing it helps you stay on track and also helps you stay accountable to the program. So when you're struggling, it's important to remember why you started, why you joined the program, and what you're really hoping to get out of it. I think for most people, they really want to learn about weightlifting, they want to feel confident weightlifting, and they just want a place to start. And this is what this 3-month program is about. It's just a really easy, nice, enjoyable place to start when it comes to weight training. So what is Beginner Lift? Well, really, it's the opportunity to learn and grow and understand how weight training actually works without actually getting injured. Because a lot of people will hop into a gym and they go to the gym and they start lifting heavy weights and they don't realize that their joints, their tendons, and their ligaments aren't quite ready yet to be weightlifting. And so the heavy loads actually cause injury. So first you want to make sure that your form is good. And that's why sometimes having a mirror is important. Or as a trainer, you can always send me a video of your form and I'm happy to correct you. And then it's also really feeling confident when you go to lift weights and you go to choose exercises on your own. With this program, it's actually broken down into 10 sessions. So what we're doing is we're doing a rotating program, which is what I'll talk about a little bit later on. And each session is actually quite short. It's only 15 to 20 minutes. So it's easy to get some daily weightlifting in your routine. And what you're going to notice is by adding a little bit of weightlifting every day, you're actually really starting to build a lot of muscle tissue. And don't worry, us women, we don't gain any bulk from weightlifting because we don't have that testosterone hormone as much as men would. That's why men tend to get more bulkier than women. But what we want to do is we just want to focus on a few body parts each day, or one body part each day, and then progress our training. So after the 3 months, you're going to start to be able to do more compound movements, start lifting heavier weights, and have bigger workouts. And then create programs that you love and you enjoy. So this is really just a place to start. And then the reason I make the sessions really short is that so you enjoy the next 3 months about weightlifting. I think what happens when people feel they need to spend an hour or 2 hours in gym several days a week, they get overwhelmed by it and they actually start to get bored or don't really know what to do. These sessions are very short and sweet. They're very specific on the body part, and we're just going to move through the program. So exercise equipment that you guys need, very simple. So all you need is a few sets of dumbbells. What I would suggest for you as you're just starting this program is actually look up on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, or a friend of mine, Shannon from Lifestyle Equipment. She also sells used equipment. She's located in Delta, so if you're local, that's another place to start. So buy used when possible. Even at my gym, I always buy used equipment when possible because it's way cheaper. So 2 to 3 sets of dumbbells for variety. So maybe if you're just starting out, a 5, an 8 pound, and a 12 pound as your set. Or if you've been weightlifting a little bit, or you feel you're a little bit stronger, maybe 10s, 12s, and 15s to get started. The second thing you want to have is just a mat. It can be a yoga mat or a fitness mat to just kind of have a place as a workstation to work. And then a work bench or a step bench or step aerobics bench or a weightlifting bench. Again, you can buy them used. That's a great place to have something to work from so that you have your own training bench. So if you're doing exercises where we're laying down, you don't necessarily have to get down to the floor. So that actually makes the workout quite easy. And especially on our cardio days when we're doing some options, it gives you some options as well. So for your workout, all you need is the usual, a towel, a pair of runners and workout gear, and then a water bottle. For weightlifting itself, you actually can weight train bare feet or in flat surface shoes. You don't need to have high expensive running shoes. Flat feet is actually better, or bare feet's actually great for weightlifting. It helps your brain and your feet connect with the muscle movement. So, and then also a water bottle if you're feeling thirsty, and it's great to always keep yourself hydrated. So, a couple of the benefits just to kind of get us started, the benefits of weightlifting. So, first, weightlifting is something that you want to add to your lifestyle routine. So, it's not something that you want to do for the next 3 months and then hope it completely changes your body and never do it again. What you want to do is you want to really focus on having, how can I add weightlifting to my lifestyle a few days a week, or maybe it's daily with short little bursts like we're doing. As you continue to train throughout your life, you're going to actually start to feel stronger because you've built that lean muscle tissue, which allows you to actually be leaner. And it's going to help you live a lifelong active lifestyle because you're going to have the muscles now to give you the strength that you need if you want to go for a hike with your family, or if you want to go for a run, or if you want to get deeper into your weight training routine, or whatever it is, or maybe there's an event that you want to do. By having that muscle mass as a foundation, and I treat it like it's my diamonds or gold, it allows you to really have a solid foundation as you age. And then as you age, you actually age getting stronger, and you can build muscle tissue at any age. You can completely reverse any muscle tissue you've lost by building that muscle tissue again, regardless of what age you're starting at. There's many specific benefits, so I'm going to give you a few of them, but just know that weightlifting is something that is wonderful for you to begin and will definitely set you up for success in your future in terms of longevity and health. So what weight value will weightlifting bring to your life long term? Well, here's a few benefits. So obviously improved fat loss. So the more you lift, you're not going to get bulky, but what will happen is your body becomes more metabolically efficient and you're going to burn more fat each day. It's not a significant number. We're talking about maybe 50 to 100 calories extra per day, but overall that definitely adds up. Another thing that it helps with is actually helps reducing injuries because your body actually becomes stronger and becomes more resilient to injuries, especially as we age. So by building that lean muscle tissue, you're really going to build a strong foundation in your body, which is going to definitely prevent you from getting injuries or reduce your chances of injuries. This one is important to me. It actually starts to create a body that you love. So it's okay to love seeing changes in the mirror. It's okay to be proud of where you come. It's okay to take pictures and see your progress. Weightlifting allows you to sculpt a body that you're proud of as opposed to dieting and just doing cardio. What happens when you don't add weight training into your fitness routine and you start losing weight, you end up with a lot of excess skin if you have a significant amount of weight to lose. And that's if you only diet and you only do cardio. So what you want to do is you want to create a lean body, and it's going to really help decrease that excess skin as well, leaving you with a body that you do actually love, which actually helps you with your confidence, which is number 4. So as you build this body that you love, your confidence is definitely going to increase and you're going to feel better about yourself each day. And that's one of the things, what I notice about women is they start to kind of feel their biceps and their legs, like, wow, look at all this muscle I have. So it definitely plays an impact on your mental, emotional well-being as well. And then finally, just one of many improved benefits is athletic and performance. So when you're ready to add more fitness to your life, your body actually starts to easily adapt because of the muscle tissue that you have built, because you're starting to create that foundation like we talked about. So if you want to hike, no problem. If you want to start running, no problem. If you want to try a circuit class, it just tends to be a lot easier than where you were when you first started. So that's kind of where we want to remember that there are a lot of benefits to weightlifting, but these are just a few to start with. And I'm sure if you Google the World Wide Web, you'd find tons. So always think about muscle mass as a really strong foundation for your body. So you want to take care of the body that your soul lives in. So part 1, I feel it's important for everybody to understand anatomy, and I'm not going to go into the depths of kinesiology and biomechanics and all that stuff. But what I want to do is I want to give you an understanding of the muscle groups that we're going to be working so that you have an idea of where you're going and how you're going to be training. So we just want to break down a little bit of the anatomy when it comes to weightlifting. So one of the muscle groups we're going to be working, of course, is our biceps, which is the muscles in the front of our arm. So the biceps, it includes 2 muscle groups actually that work together as a single muscle. So you have your short head and your bicep. You don't really need to understand the short head and the long head. What you just need to know is that the bicep is what allows you to do this movement where you're bring your palm towards your shoulder. So biceps is going to be one of the muscles that we're working. So the bicep pulls the palm towards and away, flexes and extends from the arm, and it also rotates your wrist. So it supinates and pronates your wrist. So it has a lot of function in this arm. The second exercise group that we're going to be working is our shoulders. Now, our shoulders is not just one muscle. They're called the deltoids, and there's different parts of your deltoid. So you have your front, your side, and your rear deltoids. And if you notice a little bit of like that bulk on women's shoulders or men's shoulders, that's your deltoid muscle. So the deltoid muscle is the main muscle of your shoulder area, your shoulder joint. It consists of three parts. So you have your anterior, what I said was the front. You have your lateral, which is the side, and you have your posterior, which is your rear. So we're going to be doing exercises that are going to reach all those muscles. All three assist in the elevation of the arm and play a large role in moving and stabilizing that shoulder joint and the upper arm. So, a lot of people get shoulder injuries as they age because of doing lots of different things in life. And when you build muscle surrounding joints, like your biceps, like your shoulders, when you build muscle tissue in that surrounding joints, again, it starts to reduce the injuries around those joints. And that's why that weightlifting piece is really important. Another muscle group we're going to be working, which everybody loves to work. I always get called the wings. People are always saying, I want to work this bottom part of my arm. So that's what's called your triceps. So your triceps actually made of 3 heads. And so it's a large muscle at the back of your upper limb. It consists of 3 parts. So you have that medial, the lateral, and the long head of your triceps. So we're going to be doing exercises that are going to target all 3 of those areas. It's the muscle primarily responsible for the extension of the elbow, so straightening out that arm, as you can see in the picture. All right, so another group that we're going to be talking about and training is your back. Now, the back is not as simple as your triceps, your biceps, and your shoulder muscles. The back is actually quite an extensive group of muscles, and actually there's about 40 muscles that make up this group. So your back muscles is the main structural support of what's called your trunk. So your core area is your trunk. So this is what we're going to focus on. We're going to spend a lot of time on our back, but we're going to be very specific in our back training. So the back muscles help you move your body, including your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, and your legs. So they have a very important role in your body. So you never want to skip your back day. Your muscles work together and they allow you to bend over, they allow you to twist, they allow you to turn your head and extend your back and bend. So there's a lot of joint actions that they're involved in. So these are just a few muscles that we're going to be working on. So we have your latissimus dorsi, so your lats, which help you extend and rotate the shoulders and your arms. We have your levator scapulae, which raises your scapula, which is your shoulder blades. We have those rhomboids, so if you were to pull your shoulders back, those 2 muscles, they pull that scapula towards the spine. And then that trapezius, we know those big muscle bodybuilders, they have those big muscles at the back of the top of their neck. So those are your traps, which help you move your body, raise your arms, and also help you have really good posture. So if you're thinking about your back muscles, or you're thinking about your muscles in general, they all serve a very important role. And that's why weightlifting is so important, so that we keep these muscles strong and, again, reduce these injuries. So a few more, we have the erector spinae. So this functions to straighten the back and provide side-to-side rotation. Really important muscle group, also really important muscle group to make sure you're stretching. And I'll talk about the stretching a little bit later on. The multifidus is also an important stabilizer of the lumbar spine. So it functions together with your transverse abdominis, was actually an abdominal muscle for you, and your pelvic floor muscles for spine stability. And then you have your quadratus lumborum. This contributes to the stabilization and the movement of your spine and your pelvis as well. So again, these are really important muscle groups for us to work and understand. But I'm going to do the leg work. You just have to follow along. So our next muscle group that we're going to be working is the chest muscle. So there's actually 2 parts of your chest. There's a pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. And they're like a fan-like structure of tissue on the front of your chest. Okay? The chest is responsible for moving the arms across your body, so doing a chest fly. It is also responsible for pushing your body away and from the floor, right? So movements like flexion, abduction, and rotation. So again, an important muscle group, especially when it works with your shoulders. Most chest exercises involve pushing the arms away from the body or the body away from the arms, just like a push-up. Push-ups are not my favorite thing, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But they're really good for your body. I just personally, it's not my favorite exercise. All right. So moving forward, the next part is our legs. Now, again, as you can imagine, a lower body muscle group needs to be broken down into just saying we're going to be working our lower body. We want to get very specific in our training. And so what we want to do is we want to break this down. So our quads are 4 muscle groups. That's why it's called quads. So they're the muscles on the front of our thigh. And they consist of the four muscles. So they are the erectus femoris, your vastus lateralis, the muscles on the outside of the thigh, the vastus intermedius, and the vastus medialis. So they build that front thigh muscle and they make it beautiful. So they're responsible for extending the legs and helping with movements such as walking, running, and jumping. So a very important key player in any kind of performance activity that you would do. So we definitely want to keep those stronger. And when you have strong quads, you actually reduce the damage in your knees. So by building muscle tissue in your legs, we're reducing injuries on joints like our knees and our hips and our back. The next muscle group in your legs would be your hamstrings, which are located on the back of your legs. So these are really important for walking, squatting, and bending at your knees, but also tilting your pelvis. So there's three major muscle groups when it comes to your hamstrings. So we have your biceps femoris, which allows your knees to flex and rotate and your hip to extend. We have your semimembranosus, which allows the thigh to extend, your knee to flex, so shorten, and your tibia to rotate. And then we have your semitendinosus, which allows the thigh to extend, the tibia to rotate, and the knee to flex. So very important key players. A lot of people struggle with flexibility in hamstrings. So again, flexibility and doing the yoga and the flexibility and mobility training we have in this program is going to be important. So if you're not stretching out these muscle groups, you're not helping them improve and get stronger. So it's important to make sure that you're doing those days. Don't write those days off. And then the glutes, they're getting a lot of attention recently because every workout you're going to see on Instagram and social media is always trying to get these big booties. We don't want to over accentuate the glutes or your booties. We want to make sure that we're developing powerhouses for performance. So your gluteus maximus is actually one of the biggest muscles in your body and is responsible for a lot of high performance activities. So there's 4 different muscle groups that make up your glutes. I know people just think it's one. So you have your gluteus maximus, which is that big butt muscle tissue. You have your gluteus medius, which is on the side. There's a minimus, which is a small gluteal muscle. And then your tensor fasciae latae, which runs down the side of your leg and helps you with your hip abduction. So the gluteal muscles act on the hip joint mainly to facilitate abduction and extension of the side thigh. So moving that leg away from the body and extension of the thigh. So if you're thinking about leg lifts, glute leg lifts, internal rotations, external rotations, again, you don't need to know this in depth. What I want you just to understand is that the glutes are not just one muscle group. There's 4 muscle groups, which is why when I prepare your programs, we have a variety of different weight training exercises that we do so that you're targeting multiple muscles in that workout. So your glutes continued. So that's supposed to be abdominals. So your abdominal muscles support the trunk and they allow movement to hold the organs in place by regulating internal abdominal pressure. So I know one thing I will say about your core and about your abs is people always want this like 6-pack flat abs. And I know it's aesthetic and I know it looks good in magazines, but your core muscles actually play a really significant role in keeping your body safe and protected and keeping that trunk protected. So they also protect your back. So you don't want to just work out your abs so that you have a 6-pack abs, which actually is made in the kitchen. You want to train your abdominal muscles so that you have a strong core so that when you're doing exercises, your body is fully functional and you're not going to be hurting your back or your back's not going to be overcompensating for your lack of weak core muscles, right? So the deep abdominal muscles work together. So there's actually some deeper core muscles, and we're not talking about, there's about 30 muscles that make up your core, but we're not talking about the core muscles. We're talking about deep abdominal muscles. So your transverse abdominis, your multidifidus. There's muscles that are deep in that layer. And if you think about your Kegel muscles and lifting up, if I were to get you right now just to sit wherever you're sitting, take a moment, and then I want you to lift up your body from the inside, those Kegel muscles, or to pretend you have to stop peeing midstream. Those are what I'm talking about for your core muscles. So we're going to be targeting those types of muscles. We'll also be working your rectus abdominis and your external and internal obliques that also make up your core, but we want to make sure that we're developing really strong, deep core muscles for your long-term health. So what we want to do, part 2, is we just want to break down the actual program. So this is really your just beginner's guide to weight training. So I'm just going to break down the program a little bit. Feel free to pause and take a break if you need it. So this is what the program is all about. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a 10-day rotating schedule. So this is going to allow you to create a schedule that works for you. Now you don't just have to do a 10-day rotating schedule, but I've made it 10 days so that it's in very small chunks. So it's 15 to 20 minutes focusing on the muscle groups that we just went through. So Day 1 will be biceps, day 2 will be another muscle group, day 3 will be another muscle group, and then I'm going to insert your cardio and your mobility into your for those 10 days as well. So you can rotate the program every 10 days, or you can add sessions or rest days in between as well. If you miss a day, you simply continue to the next session. So say you had biceps and then you had triceps the next day. Let's say you missed the biceps. You're going to do the biceps before you do your triceps. So you go right back to where you started. And in your dashboard, it's going to help you stay on track because it's just going to continue to the next set of exercises that you're going to do. So there's no pressure on this program. So don't feel like if you fall behind, you're going to mess up all your results. The whole point is if you miss a day, just continue forward and move the next day. You can also combine the sessions too. So let's say you want to do day 1 and day 2 together because you know the next day you have a bit of a busier schedule. That's totally fine because I've broken up the muscle groups. So because each session is only 15 and 20 minutes, you can easily combo 2 of the exercise groups together. Just don't do your legs together, and that shouldn't happen because of the way I programmed it out. So you can combine day 1 and day 2 together, or day 2 and day 3 together, or 3 and 4, but you're not combining day 2 and day 7 together, or day 4 and day 8 together when it comes to weight training. When it comes to your cardio or your yoga and recovery sessions, feel free to do as many extra sessions as you want. You could easily do biceps and then add cardio that day if you want. So you have a little bit of movement in this program, so that will help you figure out, what works best for your life, or you can just follow along the program as is and just can keep moving forward. But again, no stress around the program. If you miss a day, just go to the next day. The intention of the program is actually just to make it very convenient for you to progress through this program and also to fit into your life, because I know people's lives are very busy. So we just want to work on the breakdown. So this is what your 10-day rotation cycle looks like. So day 1, you'll see in your library starting Wednesday, or your dashboard starting Wednesday, you're going to see your bicep workout. Day 2, which will be Thursday, you're going to see your shoulders. Now, if you don't want to start Wednesday, let's say you start Thursday, then just start on day 1. Whatever your day 1 is going to be, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're going to start the program on the weekend, and that's totally fine. But I'm going to be populating these as the days go. Day 3 is going to be your triceps. Day 4 is going to be your cardio. Now I'm going to be doing a low impact cardio, but I'm also going to be adding in the dashboard some of the cardio workouts that we have from InnerFit, and I'm going to be putting some power round workouts in there. So if you feel your cardio is ready for a little bit higher intensity, I'm going to give you that option, but I'm also going to do a quick 15-minute cardio workout for those who are just starting with their fitness. And that's the best place to start. Don't feel like you need to do an hour of cardio. Start with like 10 to 15 minutes of cardio. Day 5 is going to be our quads and our glutes. So we're going to focus on just those 2 parts of the lower body. Day 6 is going to be our stretching, recovery, and mobility day. Day 7 is going to be our back day. Day 8 is going to be our chest day. Day 9 is going to be our hamstrings and abs. Day 10 is going to be our yoga, and the yoga videos are going to be provided by Kelly, who's our certified Yoga Alliance instructor, and she's broken down to very specific yoga days, so you can pick and choose what muscle group you want to stretch and what you want to work on, and you can combine them as well. So there'll be a category in your dashboard that will just say yoga. Also, you have the option to track your progress. So you can download these sheets that I've put up in your dashboard, and you just write down what the exercise is that we did, how many reps you did. You can just write 30 seconds if we're doing a timer, and then you can write your weight. So if we did 30 seconds and you're working with a 12 pound for one of the bicep exercises, and then maybe in 6 weeks you notice, if you're tracking your progress, you can see that you actually moved up to 15, or maybe you actually moved up to 20 pounds. So you'll be able to track your progress. When it comes to increasing your volume, you want to increase your volume when you're starting to feel that the last 10 seconds is actually feeling quite easy. So then you would increase your weight. If you feel like the 30 seconds is actually quite easy, then you need to make sure that you're adding a bit of a heavier load, but you don't want to be adding heavy loads right away. You want to be slowly progressing into the program. So these log sheets will be there, and you can just print off as many as you want. And they're an awesome tool. What I would do is I would just print them off and I would put them in a binder, and then you have somewhere to access them, or you could just create something on an Excel spreadsheet for you to do at home. And I'll put an Excel spreadsheet version of this in there as well for those who want to track their progress like that. And then the accountability piece, this is where it comes in your dashboard. So your dashboard is going to have everything that you need. So when you head into that dashboard, you're just going to take a look at what's going on. Maybe I've added a few more things to the program. I'll also post some stuff onto our Facebook group. But the dashboard's where all the workouts going to be. It's going to be completely laid out, so it's very easy to follow. Once you complete a workout, that at the bottom you see it says complete and continue. It's not going to just be in the exercises are listed here. It's actually going to be laid out in rotation 1, rotation 2, rotation 3, so that you're always continuing moving down until you get to the end of the 3 months. And you can repeat this program easily again if you want to. It's totally, the choice is up to you. And then your yoga days are going to be in your yoga folder for you to choose from. So the sessions and the recordings, really what to expect from me. So you and I are going to be training together. These are going to be pre-recorded workouts. Now remember, I'm not a fancy high production studio. I'm in my studio. I'm recording the workouts with you. So what I'm going to do is I will have music playing on the background, but if you get to the point where you've seen the workout a few times now and you want to mute me and you want to just play your music in the background but still follow along, totally fine. If you feel you've learned the exercises and you don't want to follow the recording, you can still push complete and continue, but you can do the exercises on your own and just track them in your sheet. So it's really about what works best for you. Some people like the videos because they know that they're going to follow along with me. I wish it was live. I wish you had the opportunity to do live, but we don't. But the pre-recorded allows you to work out whatever it is convenient for you. So you just follow along at your best. Like I said, play the music in the background that you want to play, because visually you'll be able to see what I'm doing. And then the videos will change as your workouts progresses. So we're going to be doing 5 rounds of 10, and then I'm going to be changing a few things up, and then we'll do another set of videos. So you have 2 different rounds of videos to choose from, but they'll be coming on later on through the program. And like I said, I am not a production company. I'm not spending millions of dollars on productions for the videos. What I am doing is I'm spending time with you. We're working out together, and we're just having a really easy place to start exercising so that you feel comfortable weightlifting, and that's my goal for you. So real people, real training, body positive community. This is not about being super skinny. This is not about being super ripped. This is about loving who you are, taking care of your own body, and building muscle tissue for yourself. So part 3 is measuring. Let's measure our success. It's also about creating outcomes, building habits, and then how are we going to connect with each other. So I love this quote: shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So when it comes to measurements, when it comes to weight training specifically, not necessarily if your goal is weight loss, if you're trying just to see improvements in your body, I would highly, highly suggest just doing photographs. Always take a note of your scale and see where you're at. You can weigh yourself daily if you want. I would measure yourself monthly, but I would take pictures even weekly if you wanted to. Every person I've ever had a success story with has always said, I wish I took more photos. And I said the same thing when I was I've lost 120 pounds. When I was losing my weight, I still have more to go. I wish I had more pictures to see my progress versus just every few months apart, because I think it really does help you and encourage you to see your changes and move forward and see that if you don't feel changes happening, they are happening because you can see them. People also, you probably won't see changes for the first 4 weeks, but then after about 4 to 6 weeks, you start to notice some changes. So keep that in mind as well. And usually people in your life start to notice changes about 8 to 12 weeks out. That's kind of like the general rule of thumb, depending on your progress. So like I said, make sure that you're taking photographs. Set a reminder to update your photos or track your progress and do your weight and your measurements. So maybe once a month or maybe every couple weeks, just so that it's something that's on your mind. Or maybe at the start of every 10 days, that's a good tool to use to do your measurements. Like I said, you don't need to share the photos with anybody. If you're ready and you're confident and you're feeling great and you just want to share where you're at, I think it's really good for people to see each other's progress, and I think it's really nice that we get to encourage each other. So give people the opportunity to support you by sharing your progress, and we'll talk about our Facebook community in just a second. What I want to stress is my industry, which is the fitness industry, we really get stuck on setting goals. I personally, as a coach, I can't stand the word goals because I think for a lot of people, it's a deterrent for them. What we want to do is you really want to decide what you want your outcome in your life to be. So who do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to live? How do you want to feel? What is the outcome goal for this for you? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want to feel energized? Do you want to be one of the people that feels just fit and active and healthy? Are you wanting to become a person who just makes weight training and fitness just a part of their routine, like you've seen other people do, and you really just wish that for yourself? Take some time to really sit down and think about what outcome do I want and who do I want to become in this process. So when you set a goal to lose X amount of pounds, what I've noticed as a coach for the last 25 years is that number is not inspiring enough for people to make changes. So what that means is when you're thinking about setting a goal, what I want you to do is, if that specifically, what is it about that number that fires you up and motivates you? So is it a number that you used to be at? Is it a pre-wedding date number? Is it a number that you felt really good at? Put some value and put some why to that number if you have a weight loss goal specifically. And then really spend some time thinking about who you want to become in the process. Because I watch people as a coach, and I see their behavior and I see their pattern changes. And what I've noticed is that when they spend the time focusing on who they want to become, they literally change that trajectory that they were on, and they start to become that person that they really wanted to become. When I had to start losing my weight when I was at my heaviest, I really wanted to become a runner again because I was a marathon runner, and it was really, really important to me that I got back to that. And now I've become a runner again, and I'm training for my next marathon, which is in October. And so I'm creating this person of who I want to become, who leads a healthy and active life, who looks forward to weight training because of the benefits instead of it being a chore. So start thinking about these outcomes because they're going to be really important to you in the future. So my question for you today, and it's a good time to pause or just take note of this, is who do you want to become in this experience? The next piece, this is, along with consistency, this is going to be the most important piece. So consistency in any program is completing something from start to finish and knowing why you're getting there and why you want this. The habits, the actionable small steps that you take are also going to be what's going to help you be successful or not successful. So Atomic Habits is a book by James Clear. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest reading it. But what it is, it's a small, daily, mindful, actionable steps that you can take. And I'm talking about small. I'm talking about drinking more water. I'm talking about setting your alarm. I'm talking about having your clothes in your car ready to go. Those are the habits that are going to lead to success. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what small habits do you need to create in order to follow through with this program? So can you set up an area in your home that is just easy to start the program and go? Do you have your equipment ready to go? If you're working out somewhere else, you're coming to the studio, do you have your stuff in your car ready to go? How are you making it easier for yourself to be successful? So again, what habits do you need to create in order to follow through with this program? So do you need to schedule your workouts? Do you need to call a friend? Do you need to have an accountability partner? Does sharing on social media also help you be accountable? So write down 3 daily habits that are small that you know that you can easily check off your list that will help you succeed. And then focus on those habits, and then they're going to evolve over time because you're going to master them, and then you're going to add more habits to that list. Another important part of this program is also creating community. I know that this program is pre-recorded, and I know that it's an online program, but that doesn't mean you don't have a community to connect to. And as I grow this program, this community is going to get larger. So you guys get to be the first group of people that are going to be part of this, and you're going to be setting the precedent, which I think is really cool. So it's a private Facebook page. I use Facebook only because it's easy and it's convenient and everybody is on it. But it is private, and it lets you connect with people from all over who are also just starting out. So it's a place to share, it's a place to ask questions, it's a place to get support from. So I always think it's wonderful that you share your successes, that you ask for help, that you share resources, and that you also encourage and support the other people in the program too, because I think they need it as well. So sometimes a little support can mean all the difference in the world to someone who is just starting out or who may feel a little bit nervous. So maybe somebody starting this program 6 months from now, and they started seeing all your posts and they start feeling like they can totally do this program and they got this. So you do have a ripple effect on the communities that you're part of, and I do encourage you to become part of the community. Just a couple notes about follow through, because I think a lot of people struggle with the follow through piece. So why do we not follow through is a good question that we need to ask ourselves, so that we're setting ourselves up for success. So why do we make plans but we don't follow through? Well, there's a couple of reasons. So the first one, as you can see, is time inconsistency. So the human brain values immediate reward. We want that instant gratification more than we want our future reward. Even though we place more value on that future reward, instant gratification is more important. So that's why it's important to reward yourself with small accomplishments. So you can do silly things like a gold star chart, or you can have a checklist that you did it, or you can have a journal where you're tracking your progress. But make sure that you're rewarding yourself for doing the things that are hard. Maybe you have a win checklist, and that at the end of the day, you write down the wins that you had for the day. Then you're starting to work towards your future instead of that immediate gratification. So your future plans as well, when we make plans, for example, to lose weight, we're actually making plans for our future self. So if you're saying, I want to lose 50 pounds and I want to be toned and lean, we're actually thinking about our future self. When you think about the future, it's easy to see the value of losing weight, but there's no instant gratification. Therefore, no action steps are actually taken. But if you're thinking about something that you're craving, it's really easy to go to the fridge, get that instant gratification, and come back, because we're not really thinking about the future as much or placing that value on it. So we really want to think about, am I making steps or am I taking action steps that are not helping me be successful, because it's all about instant gratification. And then that last piece is our present self. So our present self likes to see this instant gratification. So when it comes time to make a decision or an action step, that's why it's important to practice and learn how to delay instant gratification consistently while thinking about your future goals. And that's going to be a skill set and a habit that you're just going to have to develop over time. So examples are weighing in, or daily food intake, or getting your workouts in. So if you're having a moment where you don't feel like working out, what you need to do is you need to work out anyways. Even if you struggle through the workout, just get the workout done, check it off your list, because that means you're pushing through you're delaying that instant gratification, and the instant gratification is giving in to you not wanting to do the workout. So making sure that you're keeping that in mind. So how to follow through, just make sure everybody's keeping things very simple, and that is going to evolve as your confidence grows. So make things easy in the beginning for yourself. Go back and look at the 3 habits that you wrote down. Will they be easily accomplished so that you can build your confidence? So when I think about those daily habits, are they simple? Can you do them right away? Or is there a barrier right in front of those habits that you're already making those habits hard to achieve in the first place? So build upon the habit of starting and get going. Focus on how you're going to feel when it is over, and have an accountability partner that maybe meets you for the workout, or maybe you've met somebody online, or maybe you have somebody that's doing this program with you, and you can both say, hey, I did my workout, and then you congratulate each other. Easy tools. And then make sure that you're taking these action steps daily. So a few things, just a few extra tips to stay on track. So sit in your fears and welcome them in. So if you're waiting to start this program, start. Right? The program is going to be released on Wednesday. Start on Wednesday. Welcome them in. Start to understand where those fears are coming from. People believe they should listen to their intuition, but what we forget is our brains are designed to keep us comfortable. So our intuition isn't always serving us. Our intuition is sometimes that comfortable part of our brain that's saying it doesn't want us to get uncomfortable. So ask yourself, is my intuition serving me? And is it actually intuition, or is it old belief patterns from people in your life, from circumstances, from generational beliefs, right? There's a lot of stuff to that part. So when something feels fearful, rip it apart, understand where it's coming from, and then ask yourself, is it rational? Is it a valid thought? Is it true? The question I ask for you, are you ready to sit in an uncomfortable state for as long as it takes to move through that barrier so that you can get where you want to be? So can you sit in being uncomfortable? Can you push yourself to get through that workout so that you can get where you want to be? So this is the part about being conscious of the program or the process that's going to help you get to your vision. So by being conscious, you're going to be able to pivot. And that word we used a lot during the pandemic with COVID, but that word pivot is going to be your best friend. So this is why we journal. This is why we track our progress, so that you can mentally write it down and then see your progress and be conscious in this process as you're working towards these 3 months. And then part 4, I never want to skip this part because it's really important, but it's not going to be a huge part of this, but I want us to get some basics understanding about nutrition. So lifting weights and doing cardio are not all that's needed when you guys are starting your weightlifting program. You want to eat to feel better. You want to eat to repair the systems in our bodies that need repairing, like you're going to be repairing the muscle tissue as you build it. So you want to make sure that your nutrition is starting to get better. Now, this doesn't mean I need you to go all out. I'm talking about an 80-20 rule. I'm talking about adding more whole foods into your diet, thinking about what you're eating, and just becoming more of a conscious and more of an intuitive eater. So your nutrition does matter when it comes to fueling your body. So when you start lifting, your body is going to start likely requiring more to keep it going and to help you build that muscle. But there's no need to overload on pastas or protein shakes or carbohydrates. So hear me out for this one. So when you're first trying to get your body into a healthier shape, it's really important that you make some very basic dietary changes. So first, try to avoid drinking your sugar calories. So if you're a person that loves Starbucks and they go and they get a mocha first thing in the morning, it's that mocha that has like 60 grams of sugar and 500 calories that's sabotaging your success. Same with soda, same with fruit juices, same with a lot of meal replacements or, high calorie protein shakes. You really want to be mindful of what you're eating. And you also want to make sure that you're limiting that processed food intake as well. So anything that is packaged or fried or isn't in its natural state, those are things you want to start avoiding. But again, 80-20 rule. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Just start limiting those types of foods that you're bringing into your house. So those types of foods are also really low in fiber, they're low in protein, and they're also low in the micronutrients. And then they're really high on empty calories. So your body's actually never feeling satisfied, nor is it getting the nutrients it needs, and then it's always thinking it's hungry. So what you want to do is you want to aim for lean sources of protein, such as chicken and fish and turkey. In their healthy states, these options are very low in saturated fats. There's also lots of low vegan options when it comes to protein that are very healthy for you, but also again low in saturated fats. And they're going to provide adequate protein and heart healthy fats that your body's going to need in order to do its repairing job and repair all the cells. So as far as carbohydrates go, what we want to do is you just want to make sure that we're choosing whole grains and whole foods and healthy sources of carbohydrates. It's okay to have carbohydrates. It's okay to have low glycemic foods, fruits, and making sure you're getting lots of vegetables. Bad carbohydrates, and I don't actually prefer to use the word bad, but carbohydrates that don't serve you are ones that are processed and are not in their natural state, and you don't actually know where they come from. Generally, they're created in a processing plant, and those are carbohydrates that you want to avoid. So yes, eat your apples, yes, eat your oranges, have your bananas, have your grapefruits, have your berries. Make sure that your carbohydrates, your yams, your vegetables are all coming from healthy sources. Those are good carbohydrates to eat, and your body does need them for repairing and for fueling your workouts. So mealtime, once you're able to sit down and enjoy a full meal, you want to fill up that plate with veggies and whole grains and then a source of lean protein. So for example, maybe a chicken breast over some brown rice topped with some stir-fried vegetables, right? Very simple. You could have a salmon salad, or you could have, salmon and yams and whatever else that, some veggies that you want to add to the plate. So when you're thinking about your plate of food, is it colorful? Is it healthy? Are there healthy protein sources? Are there healthy fat options? Are there healthy carbohydrates on that plate? So before and after exercising, a lot of people have a lot of questions about this. We're not doing crazy, strenuous weightlifting activities, so we're not needing to, consume mass amounts of protein or carbohydrates before your workouts, but it's okay to have a light snack before you do a workout. So a good example would be a handful of almonds with a half of a banana, maybe a slice of apple, a couple slices of apples with some peanut butter. So you want to make sure that you're choosing healthy snacks before you have that workout. And then you want to make sure that you're avoiding high glycemic carbohydrates, because all those are going to do is spike your insulin, spike your sugar, and prevent your body from burning fat, because your body, once it gets too much sugar, then it secretes insulin. And when you have too much insulin in your body's not burning fat. So if your goal is weight loss, it's definitely not going to help you. So make sure at 3 o'clock you're not having some high calorie, high sugar snack thinking that it's going to fuel your workout. It's not going to fuel your workout. You're better off to have something healthier. So after exercising, something that's really good is something that's going to repair or replenish those glycogen stores and repair the muscles that have been worked during the exercise. So a carbohydrate paired with a protein is a really easy thing to do. So having a protein smoothie with protein in it and some fruits or some berries is an easy way of having something to eat after your workout. Greek yogurt topped with fresh fruit, some veggies, and some hummus. So very simple snacks. It doesn't need to be something overwhelming or something that's going to take a lot of time to prepare. Keep your nutrition very simple. So finally, where do we go from here? So what we want to do is we want to schedule your 10-day rotation using the downloadable file in your dashboard, which is coming shortly. Make sure you're ready to go with your equipment in place. So if you haven't got your equipment, now's your time to do it. And then you're going to start your first workout. Some of you may start on Wednesday. Some of you may decide to start on Friday, whatever that works out for you. And then every day you'll find your new workout in your dashboard. So you just log into your dashboard. It'll be there. And then finally, make sure that you're saying hello to your Facebook community and introduce yourself to the group. And then as that group grows, there are going to be more and more people coming into it. So thank you for being part of the Beginnerlift program. I am super excited to have you in this program with me. And I can't wait to see your results and hear from you. So reach out anytime you guys need help. My email is rachelseay@gmail.com, rachelseay@gmail.com, and reach out with me anytime. So have a great day, and I will see you guys in our program.